As promised, take 5. We are here with members of the Merritt Island Volleyball team. And you know what's probably best for me? I'm going to have you introduce yourselves. How about that? Right? All right, so you have the microphone. We'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Sarilyne Walley. I'm a senior.
I'm Cassie Martin. I'm a senior.
I'm Maddie Johnson. I'm a junior.
Hold on to that microphone, Maddie, all right, because you have it, so you'll get the first question here.
Okay.
All right, look, obviously Merritt Island, a volleyball program steeped in tradition. You three are the next to carry that on. As you enter this season, do you feel a pressure about that? When you think of Merritt Island volleyball, you think deep into November. You think state championships, regional finals. Talk about the expectations that you three feel heading into this season.
The expectation is always high for the team, but like we work together as a team, everyone does. Like we're kind of all underdogs, so like we are all working together. So it's not like there's like that one big person like there was a couple years ago. So like we're all working together as a team, and like the younger girls are like, okay, like they'll have like an input if we do need help too, because we're still new at it kind of, but
Right.
like, we still are like, hey, like let's do this, let's do that.
Gotcha. That's a good answer. Cassie, for you, 2 seniors here, all right? Mm-hmm. So as for you, what are you bringing to the table that you learned from, say, 2 years ago as that sophomore or as that junior, now that you are a senior on this floor? And everybody's going to be turning around and looking at you, so what did you learn, and what will you be bringing to the table with that?
Right. So I think it's just important to have a solid leadership on the court as it is off the court, and it'll never change if we're off the court, and I'll see you in the hall, and I'll say hi. It's as simple as that. Keeping the relationship strong is important when you're on the court and when you're trying to trust everybody to do their own job. So
that's a good answer. I think that's fantastic. And for you, again, you're in the same situation because you were that sophomore, that junior, and now you are that senior. Tell me what you did this summer as a team to better prepare yourselves for the upcoming season. What did you got? How was your strength and conditioning over the summer this year?
I would say obviously like all of us had a lot of individual things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but when we were together, we worked like really hard to make sure we were keeping ourselves accountable, making sure we were working really hard, whether it was in the weight room or conditioning or playing volleyball at open gym. We were making sure we were really taking that time and taking advantage of that time to really work hard. And I mean, obviously we were all over the place and playing indoor, beach, everything,
right.
But wherever we were working hard and getting stuff done. So I think that was just the biggest part of it.
All right, Sarilyne, we're going to you keep the microphone there with you. So let's jump right back into, obviously, a tough way to end the season last year. Mm-hmm. And while we don't want to revisit the specifics of the situation, I will ask each of you, what's one thing you took from that you bring into this season as maybe a lesson learned or as something that motivates you?
I think we obviously worked really hard last year, had to overcome a bunch of things, but I think the biggest thing I learned from it was that, it's not in your control and things are going to happen, and it happens for a reason and you can learn from them. And obviously we had a wonderful season last year, but hopefully we can just learn from those things and build on them this year.
Gotcha. Cassie, for you, coming into that senior season this year, obviously the schedule is always tough, and we know about that. And a lot of the things that I like to do when everybody comes into the studios, get to know you all a little bit. We know what you're going to do on the floor. We know about this program. Okay, we know that this program year in and year out is going to do what it does. But for you, you play a lot of volleyball year-round. Volleyball has become, in a lot of ways, like a lot of sports, that it is year-round. It's hard to focus on other sports when volleyball is your sport. So what do you do to get away from the game when you have a match or a day when the sport is not kind to you? What do you do to relax and get away from it?
Well, I enjoy reading, so I read.
What do you like to read? Is there you
Uh,
have a favorite author or
less of an author and more of like a group of people that translate manga for me.
Okay.
And then I read it.
I
and
got you.
then
Okay.
I look forward to the next chapter.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. And then do you play any other sports? How do you prepare yourself during, I mean, obviously volleyball, but what do you do to prepare for the upcoming season? How are you mentally getting yourself ready?
Well, I definitely don't have a lot of time for that because I work and have a job, but at the same time, my job teaches me a lot of patience.
What do you do? I won't ask you where you work, but what do you do?
I work at an assisted living facility.
Okay.
And I serve food to the elderly.
Yes, I would say so. I would say that's very well put.
Yeah.
And yes, I'll bet it does teach you a lot of patience and responsibility there. What is it that, now that you are in your senior year, and Sarilyne, I'm going to ask you this, so you might want to be thinking about this. Obviously, after you go to college, you want to play volleyball in college?
Yeah, I'm committed.
Where are you committed to?
Warner University.
Okay, congratulations on that. I did not know that, or I would have put a post up about it. Well, we'll get one up soon. So Warner University, after your volleyball playing days in college, where do you see yourself in 5-10 years after that? What would you like to be doing as a career?
Well, right after I get out of college, I'm going to Japan, and I'm going to be teaching English as a professor.
Wow, that's awesome. That is, Japan's a great country, I hear.
My sister's
Well, your sister's there, right?
Yeah.
She watches a lot of our bros. Have you visited? Have you been before?
No, I plan on doing that this summer once I get, out of
Gotcha.
school.
That's very, very cool. All right, Maddie, you have another year to think about all this. I'll ask you these questions next year at this time. For you, though, what are your personal goals and expectations on the floor this year? What would you like to accomplish?
Me personally?
Yeah, and in relation to team goals.
I mean, I feel like we should honestly just try to do what we did last year, make it to states as a team, but everyone, like, we're preparing ourselves for that. Like, we're going to that. That's what we're going to do this year. So, but me personally, I'm just working
Hard.
everywhere.
What did you learn last year from that?
To keep the lead that we have.
Got you.
Don't take it. Not saying we did take advantage of it,
Right.
but when you have it, take it and run.
Finish.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I got it. All right. So let's go back down here to Sarilyne, and Sarilyne, I'm curious as to what your plans are. Are you committed?
I'm not. I'm actively looking for a school, though. So
Okay.
I've just been going to a lot of camps and stuff, trying some different places.
Got you. All right. So there's no doubt you'll be playing volleyball in college. I have no doubt about that. So where do you see yourself, though, when your playing days are done? What would you like to be doing? And look, if you don't know, that's fine. But do you have something in mind?
Yes. So after I finish my volleyball career, I plan on becoming something along the lines of a radiologist, like something in that
Okay.
field. I really like radiology, so I was thinking something along those lines, but also just keeping up with volleyball my whole life. I mean, it's like a sport you can play your whole life, so probably just going to keep playing and always having fun with it.
This seems like a team with a lot of high IQs. It just, to me, you're going to Japan to teach English. You want to be a radiologist. I can only imagine what you want to be when I ask you next year. Volleyball to me is a sport where, let's say in football or lacrosse or soccer, players can take plays off. I see it all the time. obviously we don't call them out, but we see it. You know, a lineman may stand up and never touch anybody. My goodness, in baseball or softball, they may go 4 innings without touching a ball until they actually get to the plate, you know, to swing a bat. But that's not the case in volleyball. And it is arguably, and I say arguably because people will argue with me over this, the biggest team sport. All 6 of you on the floor have to know what you're doing at the same time. Tell me about that and about volleyball being a team sport and how important it is to have cohesiveness on a team.
Right. So obviously volleyball is very complicated. It's a team sport. You have to work with everyone.
I still don't understand all the rules, but go ahead.
Right. Yeah, it is kind of difficult sometimes. But, I mean, some people are going to have bad days, and that's okay. Like, maybe you're just mentally or physically not there that day. And it's really about working as a team and being able to pick those other people up. Like, obviously, like with beach volleyball, there's 2 people, so there's not that many people involved. But with indoor, you have so much more going on. And, you know, you really have to work as a team and being able to, like, pick those other people up and help them when they need it. And just being able to work together and not, you know, working as individuals, because when that happens, then the whole team falls apart.
Cassie, how would you describe your leadership style?
Definitely on the court type, you know.
Example type?
Yeah, lead by example type.
Gotcha.
I'll go up there and, you know, I'll try my best to show what I think we should be doing as a team and what we can do as a team. And of course, you know, I'm not always going to get it right the first time, but I know that I can also go and ask, you know, the underclassmen, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think could make it better?
Gotcha.
And
I always ask these questions, and you hang on to the microphone because you're the senior. I call these the fun questions. Obviously, you lose 6 seniors, and this is a team that you're going to have some new players, and it's going to take some time to gel and get to know each other, and thank goodness for camps and things like that. But I'm going to ask these questions anyway. So my first question would be okay, let's say Coach Patrick is talking, right? And she's talking to the team, and there's somebody standing in the back whispering in the ear of somebody else. Who's the player on the team? That's the team mom, but not, so to speak, that's going, Coach is talking, will you shut up? Who's the player that does that?
I think that's a shared responsibility.
Okay.
But whoever hears it, they'll look back and they'll be like,
Are you serious? Right? Gotcha. Who's the player on the team that takes the longest to come out of the dressing room to get ready? Everybody's ready to go. They're pumped up. Who's the player that's still in there taping up or takes the longest?
It's probably me. It takes a long time. Do you see this hair?
Right. Do you eat? Is there a superstition? Sports are superstitious. Do any of you have a superstition? You're shaking your head yes. Go ahead. What is yours?
Well, every single time before we had a game last year, I would go over to Heather's house, another person on this team, and I would eat pot stickers.
You would eat what?
Pot stickers.
Okay,
like
okay.
Dumplings. And I
had to do it before every game.
Single game. I never even occurred to me. But every time I think about it, I'm like, I ate pot stickers before we went.
You better keep eating pot stickers this year. There's 185 wins in a row you got against this county, so you're eating a lot of pot stickers. And you're shaking your head up and down, Sarilyne. What is your superstition?
I do the same thing, honestly, with food, because
Right.
that's like a big thing for me. Like, I love eating. So, I mean, before games, I honestly ate pasta or tropical smoothie like religiously. So
now, here's the big question. Everybody, not just women and men, we all have foods for different moods, right? Mm-hmm. What's your sad food? Do you have a food you go to when you're sad?
Ooh.
She's got one.
No, honestly, it just depends.
Or you got one? What's your what's your sad food? Go ahead.
Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos.
And then
that'll fire you up.
So it's this Ben and Jerry's ice cream. It's called fish food. So
okay.
it has chocolate and marshmallow and caramel and stuff. So
you really go in.
Yeah.
Caleb does too. Caleb's got. Now I saw you, Cassie. I saw you. What is your comfort sad food?
Right. So it's gross if you if you haven't tried it.
All right, let's hear it.
But white rice and mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is good on a lot of things.
Anytime I am sad.
White rice and mayonnaise.
Yeah. It's good.
I'm going to try it.
But anytime I've told anybody, like,
I saw
like,
somebody
it's
told me about
delicious.
a mayonnaise and pepper sandwich, and I went, ew. And then I tried it, and it was phenomenal. All right, ladies, wrapping up here with you. And I think as we wrap up, I finally got the order of you ladies correct here, Maddie, Cassie, and Sarilyne. So I'll each give you the floor here for a second just to talk about what you'd like to see happen with your team this year. So why don't we start with you, Sarilyne, and maybe what you would like to accomplish this year.
I think we all individually have like amazing talent, and we all have really good personalities like that work together. So I think it's just about being able to blend those and just about getting better as a team and being able to work as a team. So I think the biggest thing is just getting out there and playing more together and just working on the blending of it, and we'll be good.
I got you. Cassie, how about for you?
I think we all are striving for states again.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we're all willing to put forth the effort to get there and to put in all of the work that we will be putting in. And I think that it's just, it's a matter of state of mind and what you're willing to do. And I think all of us have the mindset and the energy to do so.
No, I agree with that. That's well said. And actually, the junior's going to get the last word here, so have at it.
So we are a pretty young team, so blending, like she said, off the court, I feel like more because we don't really, we all know each other, but not, the secrets of everything.
Right.
So I think we need to do that, and we'll be, the sisters like we were last year.
I think that's well said. And here's the other thing. I think that's a blessing for this program with your coach. There are programs that get to where you were last year and never get back. And that's the frustrating part for them. It's a once in a 15, 20-year process for them. But for this program to get as close as you were last year to winning a state championship, the good news is that you can pretty much count on the fact that this program year in and year out is in that position a lot. So good luck to all of you this year. And we'll be here. So we're excited about that as well. So for Maddie Johnson, for Cassie Martin, for Sarilyne Walley, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the BREVARD Sports Network. Hey everybody, Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the BREVARD Sports Network, and we're here at Merritt Island. I mean, if you don't recognize the black and yellow behind me, you ought to recognize our Coach of the Year. I tell you, Angie Patrick, great job last year. Coach, but my coach, is this 20th year?
Yes, it is. You always know the
20 years. I think you're 20 years.
Yes.
Last year was 19 years, and look, I'm not going to sit here and you will see them flash up on your screen throughout the course of this interview. 20 years. Coach, let's start. I'll get this out of the way right now. The obvious question, the heartbreak of last year. As a coach, what did you take from that?
Yeah. Hard to revisit. It was an incredibly special year with an incredibly special group of kids.
It was.
And that's where my heart was broken, is just I wanted it so bad for them. I mean, it's great for the program, but that senior class was just super special and, contributed a lot to the program. So, it's after that, about week or year maybe of healing, we're ready to move forward and have our sights set on getting back there.
That takes me to my next question. That senior class last year, so special, and obviously if you're living under a rock, then you wouldn't know this, but one of the reasons it's so special is because of Jordan Patrick, our BREVARD Sports Network Volleyball Player of the Year last year. Not only just ours, Florida Today, Breakfast of Champions, all of it. I mean, she swept it, right? Absolutely swept it. In college now, I happen to see the posts on Facebook and all. How you doing?
Dropped her off 2 weeks ago. Spent a few days there. It's quite the culture shock in Alabama, but she's adjusting. She's doing well. I got to watch a scrimmage last night. We FaceTime every day, and we're texting, and we are both so busy.
Yeah.
It helps. I think the hardest part was the last weekend we had there.
Sure.
So I'm just glad to see her thriving and happy and loving her team and the experience. And I have no time to hardly to breathe right now.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, and I'm going to see her in a couple weeks. So.
Well, I tell you what, obviously tell her we said hello, and we're excited for all of their futures, because you send 6 off to play college volleyball is an unbelievable accomplishment from one class. A lot of programs take a couple of years to do that, and you did it in one fell swoop. All right, so obviously you graduate 6, which means that you got a lot of blending to do. Sounds like it anyway from talking to your players. Does it feel like a flip of the switch, maybe a refresh, a start over type of a deal?
I wouldn't call it rebuilding. We do have 6 new kids, 3 new to the program, and so it is definitely different. And we also have very different personalities. It's a really unique year, and I guess on paper we're younger, but we're definitely smaller. That's going to be our nemesis. We're very short, but I see a lot of heart and a lot of desire and a lot of, we're going to keep this tradition alive like every other team has had that. So we're just trying to get the new people on board and got a lot of activities and fun stuff planned and looking forward to the season.
As a guy that's I still call myself a novice. I'm starting to learn the game a little bit. Do you have to coach differently? I mean, how do you do that?
I got to coach the heck out of them.
Do you?
Yeah, we're training a lot, individuals and positional. I'm so blessed this year to have 4 other coaches on staff.
Wow.
So I've never had that, and it's been amazing. So it's great.
Delegation is a wonderful thing.
Oh, it helps so much because I can be doing one thing on another court.
Right.
And they're training, other positions, and then I don't need to worry about JV and freshmen. So it's awesome.
You obviously, you look at this program every year. That is constantly on your backs. There's always an X on your backs. Everybody wants to beat you. And talking to all the volleyball programs that I have, usually I get here first. It didn't work out that way this year. But talking to all the volleyball programs, Merritt Island always comes up in the conversation. And I think that's a testament to what, you have done here, these girls have done here, the tradition, started back when Connie was here. I just think it's incredible to me that the goal every year is not, for some it's to go win a state, but for most it's to beat Merritt Island. And I think that says something, Coach.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are planning on that this year. We're planning on just fighting. And, conference is a great opportunity, and it's icing on the cake. And, we've got some great rivalries, and we're going to have some great matches this year. The end goal is obviously to go as far as we can in the postseason, but this county, we all respect each other.
Sure.
Have a great time playing each other, familiar with each other in the club circuit. So it's going to be a good year. Yeah,
there's no doubt. We're excited. I mean, we can't wait. And you kick it off you have that preseason on the 18th, right? Right here?
It is here, yes.
Yeah, it's here on the 18th. We'll be here. We were last year. We will be again, as long as Coach says it's okay. And I think it's like 3 matches or 2 or 3 matches that day, and it's always a lot of fun. And you really get to learn a lot about the teams. All right, Coach, we know that you don't have the size that you normally want this year. What did you do differently this off season to prepare for this year? Did you do anything differently?
I relied on them to be more independent in their workouts. All June into the beginning of July, a lot of them were playing at nationals, AAUs and USAV. And then I said, I don't really want you on the court for 2 weeks. You guys need to take a break.
Yeah.
And there were vacations. We didn't do a team camp because some of them wanted to go to their colleges and get in front of them, which I haven't done that in a couple of years because I think that's really important for them to go to camps. I don't want them coming in injured and overused and tired mentally. So they had plenty of volleyball. We did have a few open gyms, but again, they were focused on their clubs, and that's great. They had weight room. We did weight room. I was gone a lot of July with Jordan and some other things. So it was a good way. July was a great refresher, I think, for everyone.
Right.
So hopefully, we see the fruits of their independent labor, working on their own.
I ask you this question every year, and I'm going to ask it to you again. Any desire to ever go coach college volleyball?
No, not at this time.
There you go. And that's the same answer she gives me every year.
Love this place.
Not at this time, the black and gold. And I'll tell you what's even really cool is that Florida Tech continues, your alma mater, continues to add girls from here in Brevard County. Last year, I thought Brevard County volleyball as a whole was the best I'd seen in the 5 previous years I'd covered it. Really, I thought it was phenomenal with what Vieira did, with what you did. Is that due to the club, how much volleyball? Because volleyball, I know football goes year-round. So does volleyball. And, that it shows.
Yeah, you got to, I mean, if you're on the court, you're usually getting better.
Yeah.
And so the more you play, the better you're going to get. The more competition you have, the better you're going to get. So training at high levels and playing in club does help a lot. I love the multi-sport athlete as well, and beach volleyball is great too. We have that going on in the spring, so they're very active, and yeah, you got to play.
Trying to get this thing that's a story for another day, the beach volleyball to the FHSAA, and we'll talk about that as the volleyball season progresses, because that's a big thing coming up here. That's pretty cool, the Bolton's Beach over there. Wasn't that neat?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, and it's been a great thing for our county, and hopefully we'll see something soon in this area.
Coach, as we wrap up here, there's another question I ask you every year, and this is the one we'll finish on. How would you best describe your team heading into – I said, Coach, you get one sentence to best describe your team. What would you say about them?
I think they're focused, and I'm just going to be one sentence. They're focused on a mission and trying to figure out all the pieces to it, but knowing that they got to come together quickly and be efficient and work hard. And they are not, I mean, like I said, a bit of an underdog this year, but we're still Merritt Island Mustangs, and we're going to fight no matter who we're playing, where we're at, and that hasn't changed with this team.
Over 420 career wins. She started last season at win number 400. And as the season progressed, you times that by 19. Yeah, that's a lot of wins per season. And I don't see any reason why it should change this year. So we are looking forward to a lot of Merritt Island volleyball coverage here on Brevard Sports Network. We'd like to thank Coach Angie Patrick. So for Coach Angie Patrick, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network.
Thank you.